Hey, this is Aaron Price, the CEO of Tech United New Jersey, and I'm here with one of our members, the co-founder and CEO of NYNJA, J.R. Guerrieri, who's going to share with us a little bit more about NYNJA and why it's an alternative to Zoom that you should consider. J.R., good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, nice to speak with you, Aaron.
So I am physically in Hoboken right now. Where are you actually set up?
Lavalette, New Jersey, by the beach.
Oh, that's a good place to be. Are you there full time?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you a surfer? You do anything fun at the beach?
All the above: surf, fish, boat, sail.
That's fantastic. So tell me about NYNJA and why you started this business.
Well, we started it back in 2016. Me and my co-founders were working for international companies, and we were using WeChat, WhatsApp, Telegram, email, Skype, you send it, a million different products, and nobody ever knew where anything was, you know? And we says, there's got to be a better way with the technology out today that we can put everything in one place. So our 5 or 6 mission critical products that we were using on a daily basis, internationally, we came up with, and we put them under kind of like the Swiss Army knife of collaboration, virtual workspaces, right? So we came up with this. It took us about 3-4 years to build, and we launched it about 6-7 months ago, right when COVID hit in March, April. And it's been getting great reviews. And how we went about it was different than, we weren't going after video conferencing market. We just didn't realize that we had such a robust video conferencing module built in that worked like a closed circuit TV almost, with the security of a closed circuit TV versus, you know, broadcasting your stuff on an antenna where everybody could just scoop it out of the air and grab it.
So let's talk about these differentiating points, right? Because especially now where Zoom has taken a clear market lead, as you were getting into this industry, what did you see as like the #1 pain point that you wanted NYNJA to solve?
Well, like I said, I wanted my 4 or 5 mission critical tools in one location. That was the first thing I wanted to solve.
Well, the reason I asked that question in response to you mentioning that is oftentimes when somebody goes after a market where actually their pain point is, I need 6 different tools, trying to make one best-in-class tool is a real challenge.
Yes.
You know, how do you figure out how to take those 4 or 5 needs and make it really great in one place?
So we knew what we loved about the instant messaging. We knew what we loved about Slack and WhatsApp and WeChat. And there were certain things we just wanted to change. We wanted to organize all your files that come in, not just have them lumped into the same thing as email, right? All lumped in. So we put in these great filters where as soon as I click my image filter or my video or my file or my link or whatever I have set up, they're all very clear. I could find them by date and I could see a little visual of them. So finding an attachment in the email took us 10-15 minutes to find one. In NYNJA's few seconds. So that was one thing that we really wanted to hone up on the collaboration, because we were getting millions of emails, and as the email industry and revolution went on, we just had emails in there that about emails. It was like you cringed when you opened that email folder up. You know, it was a mess. So we eliminated a lot of that. We also could port in whitelist emails from your company, so you're getting stuff that you want to see and not just getting a big white noise of information.
So tell me more about the product itself. Who's the best potential customer? And why? When should they consider using a tool like NYNJA?
Well, you know, with the new norm of doing business, now is the right time. You want to have that in-office experience virtually, right? So my one favorite feature of NYNJA, actually, if I had to pick one that I love, is the group called the groups is one thing. Within the groups, you have the ability to call out anybody in an individual chat, in a group chat, mark them as an important message to answer. And then I could pick up the phone and in less, as quick as it takes to call a speed dial on a regular traditional mobile phone, I can call 30, 40 people and get somebody on the phone there and now. I have 4 people, 5 people on the phone, and I want to get Joe. That's usually down the hallway, but now Joe's in Albuquerque. I push a button and I get Joe in on the call, and I ask Joe, "Could you get me this? Or you get that?" So I like the in-office experience virtually. That's my favorite feature of all the features we have.
And I want to point out, like, you're talking about something where it's outbound, right? The system calls that individual versus they click on the link and sign in, which is a small detail, but a really different experience for the user.
Yes, so there's two big differentiators there. One is the ability to just not have to send somebody a link and wait for them or call them on a mobile. Say, listen, I sent you a link a few minutes ago. Whereas, I don't know, went to my whatever, right? So that's a very big pain point. And then the other pain point we experience of waiting for people, even though they know they have a conference call. Okay, some people just can't make it, and we get that. But a lot of times you forget. You say, oh, I got a conference call in 2 minutes, and then you get a phone call, or you get drafting a letter, and then 2 minutes just goes by, and people are calling you and pinging you and say, where are you? Not on a call. So we put auto caller in. So basically, whoever sets the meeting or is the admin on that group could set it to auto call. We have a meeting at 9 o'clock. Guess what? Everybody's going to get a call at 9 o'clock. And if you really can't take the call, you'll see you missed it, and you'll see a little green light saying there's a call going on progress, and you just missed it, and you could jump on it. So that feature I just love, because I'm always late to calls and conference calls for sure.
I can't relate to that at all. You and I can see that off screen. There's a lot of like, what the hell is he talking about right now? That feature would give me some real problems in life. But no, I could see that actually would make a lot of sense. And if you think about normal human behavior, at least what we've done in the workspace till now, that's kind of been what it's like, right? How has the pandemic accelerated or changed the opportunity for you? And by the way, this is streaming across a variety of social platforms. If you have questions, drop them in the chat and we'll weave them in as we go. But how has the pandemic affected the business?
Well, if anything, it excelled us, right? Because we built this for remote workers in 2016, 17. The pandemic, nobody had any, inkling that it was something like this was going to happen, right? So when the pandemic came, we had a lot of our beta testers that had been testing the product for a year or two. Hey, guys, could I use it in my company? Could I do this with it? Could I do that with it? So we ramped up development, and we, delivered a sellable product that we put out on all platforms. So you have your mobile, you have your web. So what we did is we originally made it for that NYNJA Road Warrior, right? Because like everybody's on their phone, you need to do something on your on any of the collaboration suites, collaboration products. You have to go and open your laptop and do this stuff, right? So when we built NYNJA, we built it mobile first. So everything you can do from your desktop, except it's just more real estate to see stuff, you can do from your mobile. You could send 2 gig files, 5 gig files, whatever. You could share things across other platforms like email, links to large files and videos from your phone, pretty much everything on your phone. And we have a patented navigation wheel that allows you to have multiple menus, where pretty much everybody that I know of that has a mobile platform was like mobile thought of secondary, and it's on a mobile Windows menu system, which is like hidden behind. Ours is like the old XP. You hit that little button in the corner, and you have access to every application that's built into your NYNJA.
It's funny you say that. I'm one of the few people who really likes Windows as the platform, where a lot of people make fun of me and try to get me to move to the Apple dark side, and I'm not doing it. But I'm assuming, with that in mind, that NYNJA works across platforms.
Yeah, we have everything. We have installed apps, but what we like to brag about is that a lot of companies have an issue with downloading software on the computers, right? So we didn't go that route. We do have an install version for people that like that, but we're all web-based. So it's just like Gmail. You log in from any computer in the world. You lose your phone. You could lose your phone in a taxi. You go into an internet cafe. You're in your account. You have everything there, and you're golden. So everything basically works on a web browser for all our products.
What do you think Zoom gets wrong?
Oh, I don't think they got anything wrong. I think it's a really good product for what it is, but it's a very outdated product. It's 10, 12 years old now. Some of the technology it was built on, some of the collaboration workflow stuff, it was never even in that domain, so they don't really have any of that stuff. It's a good video conferencing, but not a very safe one, so it's good for people, if you want to have a small intimate thing and you don't want to send links out to people, because the biggest problem is Zoom's okay, it's good, but the problem is everybody gets an email with that link, and emails get phished, and anybody and their uncle could have it, right? So NYNJA has, you want to do that with NYNJA too, great, but buyer beware. But you want to create your groups and your conference calls in a closed network in NYNJA where nobody else has those links and can't get in, then they just can't get it. There's no way for them to even access that link. You can send it internally. You can send it to people outside where they can only hear audio and can't access the video portion of it. So it's safe on so many different levels than a traditional. And I'm not just saying Zoom. I'm not picking on Zoom. WebEx, LogMeIn, all the other video, all the other one type, one product, for lack of a better word, one product animals.
Yeah. I mean, so I mentioned I'm in Hoboken. They had an issue with somebody zoomed on the call. I think there was some racial issues that came up in a city hall meeting or a city council meeting last week. And I understand they reached out to you. So tell me about this idea of the closed circuit versus the open, the risks here that people really need to understand.
So if I'm going to have a conference call with the people that I select in my group, they're in my group. That email's not going out. It's a notification in the NYNJA, Safe NYNJA messaging ecosystem. They get it. It pings them. They know they have a meeting. It sends a reminder for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it's telling you have a meeting coming up, right? Just the way your calendar would, right? Just the way another reminder would. But those reminders are all public at the end of the day, right? NYNJA's closed circuit. So your reminders are very specific to your group and very private. So you get it. Now, I don't even remember. I don't even have to click on a link at that point, right? There's no link involved. I get a call from NYNJA. It calls me. Or I go and see a meeting in progress. I can manage all my meetings. Down on the left-hand side of the product, you see all your active meetings that are currently going on. And you can join and fly in and out of those. So I could just join the meeting. Again, I don't need a link. We have links. We could produce links. We could send links. But as a really, sensitive information, when you're talking about government, you're talking about, a new product, corporate espionage, all that stuff like that. This is the safest thing that we could probably we thought of.
So how do you build credibility? Like a lot of times the Cisco WebEx, that is their value prop, right? We are the most secure thing on the planet, or Microsoft Teams product, which is also known to be more highly secure than other competing products. You're relatively small, significantly smaller than those groups, of course. How do you earn business in those spaces? How do you get the client to how do you build trust with somebody when you're
we show them. We'll break into their teams, we'll break into their WebEx and say, now break into ours. So their CIO or CTO or whatever will say, well, how do I break into your system? Aha, figure it out, So that's what we did. Like, okay, so I guess this is a little bit, a little different than what's on the market. And that's what we built that from, day one. We knew that, this was when we were, our companies were international companies. We were dealing in China and Russia, all over the place. And we didn't want anybody to have access to anything we were doing. We couldn't even use our Gmail in China. I mean, that's ridiculous, So we made our own closed circuit system, and it's safe, secure, and we're building on it. We have people that try to hack it all the time on a regular basis, and this is what we do.
It's really fascinating. How has it been for you? Lavalette's a great area, not a high density of tech companies. How has it been for you building this company in New Jersey, and specifically in a market like that?
Well, New Jersey's been great to us. I mean, New Jersey, flocked to New Jersey companies and say, what can you do? We did all the security on the beaches where people were bringing beer on and this and that and stealing bikes, and they found them. Sailing organizations with COVID that needed instant communications, whereas before everybody would just, either send an email or a call, but they needed that instant communications because of weather, inclement weather. They needed to get in touch with parents, say, we have to get in touch with people now. And it's been amazing, really amazing. New Jersey News did a piece about us. They did some different information and some interviews. Asbury Park Press did us on the front, did an interview on the front page. It ended up in the Bergen Record. So New Jersey's been very good to us, and they actually, you wouldn't realize there's a lot of tech here. Look at Stevens. Look at all the universities you have. With COVID, so I'm told, is people would graduate and they would go to Philly or New York. It's not happening as much anymore. So they're trying to keep these tech jobs in New Jersey, and you have a lot of tech people here doing a lot of different kinds of tech, and it's a bigger tech than you would think, right? Than you would actually think. It's not Silicon Valley, but it's got some high tech stuff going on here in New Jersey, and it's just a great place. It's always been my hometown. All my other startups, businesses have been started up in New Jersey and then went global and viral from there. And I think it's a great place to call home.
Yeah, we certainly are big advocates for the possibilities here. And I think that the pandemic has accelerated some opportunities for the region. For instance, those who may cross the river to go to New York City for work may be able to work remotely, work from home, work in satellite offices. New Jersey's well positioned, I think, to capture a lot of that market. What do you think the future of work looks like? People are starting to get more comfortable getting back into normalcy or whatever the new norm is. But what do you think things look like long term?
I think this is it, and not just for remote workers. I think it's a factor of cost savings for businesses. I could tell you, colleagues of mine that I work with, had $1 million a month rent in Manhattan, and they're like, "Well, you know what? We're doing just great." They cut it down to a meeting space that's a fraction of the price, and they're doing business in a more economical way. They could hire more people, so it could stimulate, people's meals where they need to get their bread and butter from, versus having a beautiful, nice glass office on Fifth Avenue or somewhere that you're paying a God knows fortune for. And you're putting the money back into the tech to run your business, back into sales and marketing, back into your human resources, which is your most valuable asset. So if they can realize they can do business better with less overhead, it's going to just help everyone, I think. And this is a new norm of doing business. And our product really calls it gives them those mission critical tools in one suite.
Yeah. How do you see best practices of how people actually use the product, right? We've seen best practices of how people can communicate online, and there's clearly people who can't unmute themselves or who show up in camera, half naked by accident. What do you think is the best practices for the long term that people should know about as we, I expect a hybrid workplace, but I'm curious what you think will happen there and what you think the right, just best practices for how people can work together remotely.
Yeah, well, hybrid still lends itself to products like these, right? Because you're still using virtual stuff, whether it's hybrid or not. You're still using it all time, 24/7, right? So that's kind of the same. Best practices, we have a whole list of different things on our website that go through tutorials of best practices. And there's a lot of different best practices for sending files, sending large files, video conferencing. There's a whole slew of that. And, to go into every single one right now would be arduous. But basically—
Tell me about the file transfer piece of this, by the way, because that seems non-obvious to me. There are services dedicated to sending big files. I understand people you can leverage. It sounds like I think 4 gig and above on NYNJA, right? Yeah. But why is that as a feature? How did that come up as a need?
We were using WeTransfer, another product, to do it. We were using even Google Drive, and then somebody didn't set the permission right. You send the email out, you'd wait a full day before you had editing rights, and we were just losing time left and right. So with NYNJA, we made it real simple. You drag and drop. You could send a link to share. The permission is right up front, so you don't have to pick and choose. You know exactly what you're doing. Just a simple, fast way to do it. And it's lean. I could send you a 10 gig movie on a text message right over text. You hit the link and you're watching that thing in seconds. There's no downloading, anything like that. We have a content server that provides that kind of access. So it's really, really unique, convenient, and again, safe.
That's pretty awesome. Tell me about, first of all, I know we have a special offer for those that are Tech United members. I believe they're getting the platform for 50% off. But what's the pricing model look like in general?
Enterprise is around $15 to $20, the enterprise package, and that gives you a very robust data package, very robust messaging, pretty much all encompasses. It's pretty much a one-stop shop at that price. So we're offering the 50% for the Tech United members,
which we very much appreciate. That's, by the way, I'm assuming per user per month.
Correct.
Tell me about what's that?
I said it's very easy to manage your seats and have it, make it as cost effective for your organization as possible. And we could work with you to do that. So it's about 50 to 60% less than anything else you're going to find on the market that's close or comparable.
You seem like a pretty high energy, fun guy to work with. I'm curious what the workplace is like at NYNJA.
It's got that Google mentality. We got one of those hockey, the air hockey things over there and stuff like that, dartboard, and we just try to keep things fun.
What are your, especially in the pandemic, what are some things that you think have kept the business focused and successful?
I think it was our platform, to be honest with you. We were doing stuff on Skype and on Zoom previously, and we were having the same problem. Somebody would send stuff, you close the meeting, and I lose the information, and I have to send an email to somebody. I think our platform made it successful because it was everything is right there. So when I'm sleeping or a tech sleeping, I go into that group that we have our daily stand-ups, and everything is at my fingertips. I don't have to ask anybody for a thing. It's just right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, part of what I think makes the Tech United community special is very much built on helping one another out. What's something that you need help with right now?
Awareness. We don't have the big bucks to advertise like Microsoft. We can't throw Super Bowl commercials on there, So, word of mouth, intros to companies with, enterprise type seats. Awareness is really our biggest. That's what we're trying to get out now. That's what our focus is on. It's on sales and marketing right now. Our development is pretty solid. Of course, it's always going to be worked on and upgraded. But our main focus is on the sales and marketing. Our product is raring to go.
That's all. Any talent needs? You looking to hire anybody in the near term that we should be aware of?
Always looking for good talent. Always looking for good talent on tech. Android developers, iOS, Java developers, web developers. Always looking for good talent.
Awesome.
And we're also people working for us in New Jersey already, so that's great. And we kind of keep hiring from within New Jersey as much as we can.
Awesome. And we're hosting. I'm really excited about the partnership here. We're hosting our quarterly member networking and trivia events. The next one on NYNJA, which is on March 25th. So
great.
People who are interested in using the platform can join us then and get an idea of what the product's all about, which I'm really psyched about. Maybe you can help us with some good Jersey trivia, because I feel like you might have some good ideas for us.
Oh, I don't know if it's trivia, but Bruce Springsteen should have never been arrested for that little misdemeanor thing over there.
That was a real bummer, wasn't it?
It was like he was doing a good thing, and you're with your buddies. It's a nice day outside. He's riding his bike, and a park ranger's got something out for him, that's ridiculous. And then what do they give him, the keys or something? A week later, they put this big thing where they give him, I don't know. I don't just get people. Everybody should kind of especially during these times, man, be happy people are out and doing things when they can. So, that's something that I'm not a big fan of.
I do mostly agree with you, and I'm a huge Springsteen fan. But if you or I were riding a motorcycle and stopped and took a shot or two of tequila, I think it was, I would, I don't know if we'd have as much of an easy time getting off as he did. But I apparently he tested low enough, so I get it. But
I don't think it would have been, if it was you or I don't think it would have been an issue.
You think they would have let us go?
I don't know if he even saw it. Like when you hear all these different things, you saw Springsteen on a motorcycle and you stopped him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Since we're slightly off topic, you ever have any Springsteen sightings in your area?
No, I haven't.
No.
No.
Well, maybe we'll do a Tech United event. He'll show up one of these days.
That would be great.
I really appreciate you joining us. I'm psyched about NYNJA. I'm psyched that Tech United is going to be using it with our members soon. People can save 50% off the platform, which is a very generous offer. Check out NYNJA. NYNJA.work to learn more. JR, it's been great getting to know you. Usually we do like a stand-up high five your neighbor, but since we're all virtual, we do high five the camera. 1, 2, 3, boom.
There you go.
Thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Aaron.